Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. My name's EDDBUD and I typically specialise in shoe and running gear reviews. Today I've got a recap of the fantastic running event which happened earlier today, the INEOS 159 Challenge. I was very lucky to have a good buddy, good friend of mine, Kev Burton, over in Austria. He travelled over yesterday and got to the course very early to get a load of footage for us, loads of pictures. So first off, we've got to say big thanks to Kev. Don't worry, I'll be making it up to Kev in a very special way. I've got something very special lined up for Kev, so when he does get back, or at least it might take me a couple of weeks to get it prepared, but I've got something very special lined up for you, Kev. So Eliud Kipchoge was making an attempt at breaking that 2-hour marathon barrier. Could he do it? Well, I have to be honest, I struggled to get to sleep last night. I was so kind of excited, so tense, so anxious for him. Was he able to do it? He must have been putting in a huge amount of effort over the training in the last 12 or so weeks. It must have been incredibly grueling and also demanded mentally incredible strength. So they kicked the event off at 7:15 British time. I think it was about 8:15 over there. I think they're about an hour ahead of us. Conditions seemed to be absolutely perfect, although Kev did comment it was very cold early on. He did send me a couple of early pictures where he was near to the start line. I think I was around about 2:30 in the morning, and he said he was just chilled to his bones. It was really cold. My father's been over in Poland recently as well and commented it was very cold. So I think really we need to remember over here in the UK, it is mild. There was a bit of light fog. I think it's kind of cool really. It added to that mystique. It made me think of some of those sort of post-Cold War films where you've got that kind of all that beautiful architecture, and certainly there was something really quite magical about that huge long straight that Kipchoge and the pacemakers were going to utilise during the challenge. Some real spectacle about it, some real mystique. It was so nice to see so many people there massing, ready to watch this amazing event. If you think about it, these guys had to run 2 minutes 50 per kilometre to try to get in under that 2-hour barrier. So the race kicked off without any problems. The first few occasions where they switched the paces over, there weren't really any major issues. It must be quite tough to be able to keep in that formation. Everybody's got to be really dedicated and very focused on what they're doing. Eliud was really lucky to have some of the cream of those kind of long distance runners as his pacers there, all offering their services to try and help him out. I think in total there were 9 sets of changeovers, 9 sort of sets of pacemakers, and I think pretty much all of them managed to switch over very smoothly. It was really like a well-oiled machine. An interesting observation I thought was where the turnaround points happened. There were 2 points where they had to kind of turn around, go around some bends, and I wasn't sure whether the guys seemed a little bit perturbed when they switched the laser off that was being projected from the car that was just in front of them. That got switched off and they had to maintain that pace around those bends. Must have been pretty tough. I know certainly taking any bends previously in the Vaporfly 4%, I've felt really unstable there, and I'm going at a donkey style pace compared to these guys. So obviously in the next percent a little bit more stable when cornering, but those guys just flew around those corners, and as soon as they were back onto the straight the laser came back on again. I was trying to keep track of where Eliud was taking on liquids and nutrition. It was quite tough. I kind of lost track after a while. He certainly seemed to take some on around about 6k and then at quite regular intervals. So I think the last one was round about 29 and then I think 35. So I think he took stuff on regular intervals. He didn't seem to take on a lot at that last one. He was probably really trying to concentrate on keeping that breathing going. It's so wonderful watching that guy run. He just makes it look so effortless. And you saw quite often he was just smiling. They say he smiles when he's in kind of real pain and the fatigue's really setting in. They say he smiles to kind of bring himself out of that moment, to try and kind of lift himself up a little bit and kind of focus on what he's trying to achieve. So as you saw, Eliud was wearing a special new version of the Vaporfly. It appears as though this is called the Nike Alphafly. So it looks like it's got 2 pods right at the very front, just underneath the kind of balls of the foot really, which appear to be Zoom Air pods. Very interesting. It still has a mass of that Zoom X foam at the back of the shoe, probably even higher stack height than the Next percent. Quite an incredible looking shoe really. Really beautiful sort of pink traits at the back there. And it appears also that it's got some type of new upper material. It's called Atom Knit. So maybe a sort of slightly denser version of Flyknit. It certainly seemed to be doing the trick though. Up to the halfway point, Elliot was steaming ahead, absolutely bang on pace. There were only a couple of kilometres over the course of the race really where the paces and him seemed to drop just a couple of seconds. But pretty much through the whole thing they were a good 9 to 10 seconds under that 2 hours. So as he approached the end of the race, round about the last K, the pacemakers seemed to sort of start looking around, you know, have we got to move out the way now? And Elliot kind of ushered them out the way, and then he seemed to increase in speed, which when you think about it, it's quite amazing. You know, the guy's just put himself through an incredibly grueling effort to try and get under that 2 hours, and he kind of pushes them out of the way and absolutely flies down the home straight. It was wonderful to see him kind of picking things out in the distance, and as they went by, he was kind of doing this. It was wonderful. I got to be honest, I was up out of my chair, kind of cheering him on, just saying, go, go, you know, it was amazing. Wonderful crowd support, people banging on those hoardings there. Really kind of gave me that feeling of, you know, like a football match kind of situation. Everybody really, really willing in to do it. In the end, he managed to do it. He came in at 1 hour, 59 minutes and 40 seconds. Absolutely incredible. He ran straight across to his wife, and there was just sort of uproar. Everyone was just absolutely going crackers and really getting into the moment. It was so wonderful to see so many people there urging him on. I think that perhaps was the difference between this event and the Breaking 2 event previously, whereas you had some people around about that kind of lap marker point. This time there were people lining the sides of the track and providing support all the way for him. I find this an extremely inspiring event. People can probably look at that and say, yeah, well, he had a pace car, he had paces, he was being handed kind of nutrition and stuff, but does that really make much of a difference? He's proved actually that it can be done, that an athlete, a human, can run under that 2 hour marker. I think it's an inspiring event, and certainly inspiring motto. You know, no human is limited. I think that young people, you take that on board. You can do it. If there's something you want to do, don't let someone tell you you can't achieve it. If you work hard enough, you're dedicated enough, you can. Kev did bump into someone. I think you may know him. He looks very familiar. I'm certainly a big fan of Seth Moore's channel. Seth, I want to wish you all the best in your marathon attempt over in Amsterdam. I know you're going to achieve an incredible time. Such dedication to see you come back from injury as well. So I wish you all the best. Also gives me an opportunity to say all the best to Mike Kafuzi tomorrow in the Chicago Marathon. Let's hope that there's not too much rain, although I do know you love running through those puddles. So let's have a bit of rain for Kafuzi. Really go for it. I know that you can get in under 3 hours. Again, thanks to Kev Burton over in Austria. Hopefully he's having himself some sustenance now, maybe a glass of water and some sausages. Have a safe journey back, Kev. Thanks for watching this video today, guys. Please think about subscribing down here in the bottom corner. Lots and lots of shoe reviews, lots and lots of gear reviews for you. Please comment down below. Tell me what you thought of the challenge today. I thought it was fantastic. Let me know your thoughts. Give the video a thumbs up and make sure you share it with all your buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you